And now moving on to the second subdivision. These are the top 16 girls from qualifying, and this is another Spanish girl, and a bit of a surprise, Morrow.
Oh dear, a one-armer. Looks as though she had a bit of a calamity there. It looked like she missed with an arm. I don't know whether it slipped or it was too bent and didn't make contact. But Jesus Cabello, the coach there, slipped off, and she did very, very well to survive that. And great tradition for vaulting, the Spaniards, you know. Esther Moya, the reigning Olympic champion. So great things will be expected of Sarah Morrow.
Tell you what, she might just have invented a new vault there, the one-handed vault. Just needs a little more practice, though. Of course, the girls get 2 vaults, unlike the men. They get 2 vaults, and the scores of the 2 are average for the final score on the vault.
So this could be really very critical for Morrow, because she's got to be a contender for the top 6. She's one of the outsiders I would have put my money on, but no longer.
8th in qualifying.
But she's got a second vault to redeem her challenge. First one she's just done was a 9.4 start value, if I can explain that. That's the maximum marks they can be marked from, according to the difficulty of the vault they perform. And generally they put in one safe vault and then try and go for broke and put in the most difficult vault. She's got the daunting task of having failed on her safe vault. One presumes she's going to put either another half or another full twist on that Yurchenko. Yurchenko has a round-off entry. The innovator, Natalia Yurchenko, first performed it without the twist in 83. Oh, and that was a perler. 2 twists, she must be gutted. They're really safe plant of the hands, and 1.5 somersault with 2 twists. Very, very safe, right within the tram lines of the landing area.
So that was Morrow then, and her score finally, after the disastrous first vault, 8.675, and really ruining her chances of getting a medal. Van der Leer now, the young Dutch girl.
And she is young. She's not 16 till December, and she's superb. Absolutely superb. A clean day would surely put her into the medals. Just look at the transitions there in inverts. That's the hands practically turned inside out, the endo circle. And the skill on asymmetric bars is to keep swinging, travel over them, under them, twist around whilst in handstand, and just look at that massive dismount. Double twisting double. That's a huge routine, huge exercise. There's no doubt about it that she'll get a very good score for that. The highest score we've seen on bars was from Kokina, a 9.7, and that's a huge score in terms of this new code. But just watch this turning, look. She's so adept at the hand transitions in inverts and then the top change. The undershoot half turn to handstand, that's a D element straight into the Stolder circle, with another turn into the endo in inverts, and again that's a clear circle in a forward straddle position. Notice many of the gymnasts aren't wearing handguards. That was a release and catch, presumably a Ginger. And Van der Leer in 6th place after that exquisite bar routine. But Korkina in the lead, Zigan-Shiva second, and Brazil's Hippolyta in 3rd position.
So we'll catch up with the action in the 3rd and 4th rotations, the final 2 rotations in this competition for gold medal. And now going for the all-around medal, and 4 pieces of apparatus. We're joining the action again, and it's now rotation number 3, and this is Tasha Schweikert from the United States, who are very pleased with their medal in the team event this week. Didn't expect it, and that's put them all in very good heart.
And yet another gymnast who's in with a shout for a medal. Tasha qualified in 7th place, and a particularly strong floor worker. Nice combination there. Double spin with the legged horizontal into the jump, which moved a little. But the skill really and the marks are decided by the difficulty of the tumbles. 2.5 twist into an immediate straight front somersault. Another spin, double that time. And yet another. There's a special bonus for artistry of 3/10.
And presumably the way they dovetail their routine to the music's going to have a bearing on those artistic marks.
Well, the execution and choreography actually is a separate issue, but this 0.3 artistry is basically musical interpretation, flexibility, and dancing with soul. And really, not many gymnasts can dance really brilliantly. You can tumble well, but to get the cooperation of the two skills, very difficult.
That was a pretty good routine from Tasha Schweikert of the United States. I was discussing with Monica a little earlier on about this question of the size of the floor, because once you get one of these gymnasts on a run like this, going for it, you just want to see them go and go, and in one sense it's a shame that the floor isn't that little bit bigger.
This is something that I debated just recently. I think it's possible that that might be one of the next moves, that the floor area is enlarged, because
it's so good to watch, isn't it?
Absolutely, and since the innovation of double somersaults, and the tumbling skill over the last decade has improved so much and the floor stayed the same size, that I would think that's an inevitable progression.
Because at the moment, you feel that as soon as they got up to speed, they're having to put the brakes on almost immediately. You know, it's
absolutely, they're going to need more space to
express
add
themselves.
on and to work out of some of these triple twisters, you see.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because nobody wants to see them do something fabulous and then just put one foot outside the floor and get penalised for it, yeah?
No, and it's happening to so many of them that obviously the floor's sort of a bit too small. We'll put in a protest, eh?
Let's do it now. There we are. Good scoring. 9.35 for Schweikert. That's very good indeed. And she's in 7th place at the halfway point in this all-round event.
And here, a very impressive young lady, Natalia Zigansheva from Russia. And I remember watching her at the Junior Europeans last year. Really fantastic kid. Coached by Viktor Gavrichenko from St. Petersburg. Viktor, who I've already said, influenced British gymnastics to a very great degree, and he worked in the southwest of England, passed on his expertise, and we in the region have gone from success to success after his input. And there she's performing Yurchenko with 1.5 twists. Linear and very, very strong. Came to grief a little bit in the qualifying rounds, in the team round rather. Messed up her bars, but she's made significant progress in this event. It looks very positive. It hasn't phased her at all, despite her lack of experience. It's her first major senior international.
Like a sutter with all this chalk she's putting on herself at the moment. Just cover the face and she's all there. This girl, incidentally, the youngest competitor in this competition, just about, 24th of December, her birthday, and she's 15 at the moment, allowed to come to the competition so long as the birthday is before the end of December. 16 in the Europe competition is the rule.
And there with the double twist, start value of 9.8. Another half twist, and we're up to the 10 start value. So she's not doing bad for a 15-year-old, is she?
Very nice.
And coping with the new vaulting table. This is the first time it's been used in a major international event. And again, that is a progression to assist the progress of the gymnasts and to prevent injury of the ever-increasing standard of their vocabulary of skill.
In silver medal position at the halfway point here, this youngest of all the competitors, and another Russian talent in the making, as you can see, and there is the score, 9.343, so that keeps her right up there, pushing for the big one.
And just to qualify to our viewers that this competition is actually on the new code of points. So if you're seeing 9.3 from a Russian and you think they're doing badly, not right. We're not going to see 9.8s and 9.9s on this new code. When we see a 9.3 on vault, that's a good score. And if we see a 9.3 on bars, that's an excellent score.
What about the beam?
An excellent score, 9.3. We have had a 9.5 from Ayova in the qualifying round, but unfortunately she hasn't backed that up on other pieces. Oh, and we see so many full twisting back somersaults.
This is one of the explosive Romanian girls who took the team gold, of course, Sabina Koiaca.
And she's a mean competitor, this girl. She is unfazed. She absolutely thrives on competition. So unbelievably positive. So far, massive difficulty. Now the girls have to produce either a balance on one leg or a handstand balance within the routine. There are 7 special requirements. That's one of them. Side somersault. She's had quite a few hesitancies on landings, which I must say is uncharacteristic of her.
Big dismount coming by the looks of it.
Yeah, flick to 1, flick to 2, and triple twist. And Maria Bitash, the assistant coach from the Romanian camp, who works alongside Octavian Ballou, pat on the back and says, "A bit wobbly, mate."
And 9th position before the beam, so a lot to do to get up there amongst the medals.
There's the full twisting tuck back in series, and she's going to lose 2 or 3 tenths on that landing.
She will be there again in the apparatus finals on the beam. So a chance of an individual medal, because after the all-around event, both the men and the women come back, and there are 10 more gold medals, 4 for the women on their apparatus, 6 for the men to be had, and that happens over this weekend. We'll have, in fact, a lot of those apparatus finals coming up for you later tonight, 23:15 in Europe, a little earlier in Britain.
And this is a daunting program for the gymnasts, you know. What did she get on beam? 9.337.
Well, that's pretty good, eh?
And that's a high score, considering she had 2 big wobbles after the side summy and the full twisting back somersault. So I would consider she might be having a birthday today.
Another Romanian.
Double layout. And this is Silvia Stroescu, another 15-year-old, very powerful little girl. Full in, back out. Amazing fast twitch. You see the speed of muscular reaction indicates the degree of fast twitch muscle that they possess. Two and a half twist into punch front. Double spin. One of these 7 special requirements. There. Demonstration of explosive muscle tissue. Final tumble. They've got massive tumble, these girls. Triple twist, 2.5 punch front, full in, back out. What's she going to finish with? Double pike? Yes.
And plenty of room to spare. Look towards the corner of the floor there. Can always to put in another tumble.
Absolutely.
But probably better not to have done, because she might have just stepped out, which is what we were talking about earlier on. So Stroescu, Silvia Stroescu of Romania,
But the smaller gymnasts really have an advantage on the floor. I think there's a possibility for the juniors to have a 12x12 and the seniors to have a bigger floor area. And there's the 2.5 twist into the straight front somersault. But because she's a diddy gymnast, she's got plenty of space. You know, she's probably, what, 4'10". Transfer that into meters and centimeters.
I'll let you do that.
And probably only weighs about, what, looking at her, about 33, 34 kilos. Tiny little thing. 9225.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, very slight, but pretty muscular. And now, one of the great stars, Svetlana Kokina of Russia. She, the leader at the halfway point, and she is the favorite. She was the top of the qualifiers.
She's just incredible. She really is. For a gymnast of, well, for a girl of her height to even consider making gymnastics her sport, let alone to reach the heights that Kokina has, is quite amazing. And she is just going like a train. Coached by Boris Pilkin.
Now her height 164, which is about 5'5" thereabouts, I think.
No, I don't think it's quite that, is it? About 5. And I've stood next to her, and she's not quite as tall as me, and I'm sort of 5'4½".
Well, this is her official height.
That's the height she is when she's hanging on the bar with weights on her legs, is it?
Certainly she's tall for a gymnast, whatever.
And she's of supreme quality. That is so beautiful. She just brings her own unique style to things. And the lift, there's Boris, a lovely man. She absolutely adores him, even though she speaks to him so badly, because she can be very moody in competitions. But she's really lovely to him when things are going well. And after the event, she'll give him a big hug no matter what she's done. But yeah, full twisting, flick-flack mount, flick-flack straight somersault in series. And so she's really building bonus points for difficulty.
As a child, I was very picky with my food. She says my mother hoped if she put me into gymnastics, I'd start eating breakfast without frowning. That's how, for simple nutritional reasons, I started my gymnastics career at the age of 4. But I'm not sure how much more she's eating as a result of all that.
No, I think she's still picky with her food.
And she looks as sweet as apple pie, but as you were suggesting, she can be pretty determined.
Oh, very, very. A mean competitor. But very charismatic. You know, great person to have as a world champion. I'd just love to see her win again. But she's got some very, very tough opposition, and she considers herself one of the seniors in the sport.
She is
older
really
ladies.
22.
Yes,
now.
yes.
Back in '95, she won a silver in this very event, the all-round world championship.
9.237 in comparison to Koyakar. Ooh, one wonders. Now here is a real surprise. Daniela Hippoloto. And she is a true outsider and a chance of a medal. She's performed brilliantly in this event. A friend of mine went to Canberra, to the Canberra Cup last year, and came home and told me about her. Quite a surprise.
From Brazil. Don't get a lot of absolute top performers in gymnastics from Brazil, do we?
No, she's the first to appear on the individual scene. Full twisting, double straight. Bar's not her best piece. Floor her best piece.
Just to remind you, this is the girl who was in 3rd position, the bronze medal position at the halfway point after 2 rotations. And she would be almost as a bigger shock, I guess, as Feng Jing winning the men's all-around, if she were to pull it off, of course. And that's a big if.
Well, she only qualified in 14th place, so it shows you how open these championships are. And years ago, if you qualified first, you were pretty much destined to win. But there, the dismount. Very, very strong girl. And extremely composed skills that they can manage.
Rather a tragic background in one sense, that she was traveling on a bus and which collided and 7 people died in that accident. Lots of gymnasts were injured, including her coach, who remains paralyzed, and her best friend was badly hurt too and hasn't competed since. So Danielle Hippolyta showing great determination and courage to come back from that.
And her bar score was 8.912. And here we have Iova, a great beam worker, but not a great vaulter. Quite a philosophical reaction to a disaster. The half turn on from the Yurchenko entry, and 1.5 somersaults tucked and only just getting to feet.
It's kind of interesting. She's going to be back on the beam in the individual apparatus finals, and also on the uneven bars is this young lady. And yes, she only qualified in the all-around, tragically way down in the low, well, pretty far down.
10th, I think.
10th, was it? Yeah. Okay, not as well as you might have expected from that sort of background.
But interestingly enough, she's 19 and has just launched. This is her first senior international, and for the Russians, you know, that's quite mature. So I think that we're seeing older, more experienced gymnasts coming through from the Russian camp, which is great. Now, start value there, only 9.3, which suggests that this is her Achilles heel in the 4 disciplines. I wonder, and it looks as though she's going to do the same vault again by the scoreboard.
So Ludmila, second vault here.
She is, and she's going to get a penalty for that. You know, we have to produce 2 different vaults. She's going to lose a mark. A whole mark will come off her score because the rules say 2 different vaults. And she's producing 2 vaults the same.
The big sit down too.
Well, she's obviously got some kind of a problem. I saw her nursing an elbow while she was walking around earlier, so perhaps she's not taking any risks because of that.
Oh dear, 6.9. That is terribly, terribly low, and that's going to damage her, well, beyond repair, frankly, in this particular competition. She'll come back in those individual apparatuses I was talking about, though, which might help. Now then, after 3 rounds, then we have Korkina still up in the lead, still Zigansheva in second place, and Yim has slipped into third ahead of Raducan, who we haven't seen yet, the great star from Romania, in 4th position at the moment. Van der Leur, look, the Dutch girl, is in 10th position, and maybe a little bit disappointed there after all the kind of razzmatazz that surrounded her. We'll see what happens in the final.
And Artistic World Championships. So we're in the 4th rotation. And here we have Koyakar from Romania. At this point in time, not in contention for a medal. But she's produced some good work. Bar's been her weakest piece. She was strong on vault and a very good score on beam. One of the 3 younger Romanians in the team. Full twisting double there. But it's the strength in depth that provided Romania's success in the team event, where they marched off with the title yet again of world champions.
They've been very good, in fact, as a team for some years now, haven't they?
Oh, yes.
Even putting the Russians in the shade.
Pretty invincible. Psychologically, they're very, very tough.
Talking about how the Russians aren't quite the force they were under the Soviet Union, but somehow Romania, which isn't economically well endowed, seems to keep producing the goods.
I think it's because of their mental toughness as a nation. And whip into triple twist, but she stepped out of the floor area. I think she did, in fact, a couple of times, but amazing tumbling. We're going to see a lot of this young gymnast, Koyaka, in the future. This her first senior debut. And what a way to go home with a gold medal wrapped around your neck as a team champion.
Tremendous athleticism from the young Romanian. And this is going to get her a high mark. It's all been ruined for her in this all-around event by the 8.625 on the uneven bars. An uneven score all around, you might say, for her, but just seeing if she's going to be back in any of the individuals coming up here. Well, she's on the beam in the individuals, as like we said before. What else is she coming back for? She's coming back on the vault. Not on the floor, is a matter of interest, no.
9.462 for her on floor.
And she might have been up there amongst the medals if she was on the floor, but obviously didn't do well enough in qualifying.
Now I think she's lacking consistency on the four pieces, just a little bit weak on bars. And now to the American challenge on vault. Or is it, no, it's a Dutch challenge. Three girls who look very similar. And this is Gabrielle Wamas from the Netherlands, the second of the Dutch girls, who shows tremendous promise. And that was the Yurchenko mount with the half turn, and then a 1.5 somersault in a piked position. That obviously her second vault.
These Dutch girls, they were junior European champions, I think it was, last year, and they've come up and done very well in these World Championships, in 4th position until the final rotation in the team event, and were just pipped by a very elegant Spanish outfit for 4th place. It was Romania 1, Russia 2, the United States 3 in the team event. And now here comes Silvia Stroiescu.
But really interesting, almost every major event another team of strength appears, and we can add the Dutch team now to one of the strong forces of world and European gymnastics. Stroiescu full twisting Yurchenko with a start value of 9.4. There the round off of the cartwheel with the quarter turn, the flick flack, 1.5 somersaults and a single twist.
Solid. Wamas score 9.124 on the vault, and how's the Romanian going to do against that?
There are two juries, an A jury, and their responsibility is to notate the technical difficulty of the exercise, even on vault, but to see whether or not the vault that they have indicated, you saw on the board at the back, 4.406. Now that indicates the same vault she's just done with an extra twist. And then we have a B jury, and the B jury are responsible for the execution and giving marks out of 5 for the choreography, composition, execution of the performance.
Again, a solid landing.
Absolutely. Except it was a 1.5 twist, not a double twist, so that was a 9.7 start value, as opposed to the first, which was 9.4. But it will lift her average a little because it was solid. A little bit of knee bend as she crept around the corner on that second section of the twist, only just making the half twist, really. Execution-wise, I would think she'll have quite a severe penalty on that.
So what should she have done to have got rid of that knee bend? What was something wrong in the early part of that vault?
Yeah, she was under-rotated, so she had to shorten her long axis to get the turn. And of course, by shortening her long axis, she was widening.
And she's widened the score a little bit there. 9.031 on the first vault. It was lower than that, so the degree of difficulty on that second vault has pushed the score up a little bit for the Romanian. Stroiescu.
And Tabitha Yim.
Now this is the girl in 3rd place.
And I believe she's pretty cool on bars.
Not seen her before.
Half into the... Oh, nice 1.5 turn straight into the undershoot to handstand. Very good combination. And very good combination. And this is where the bonus points come from, at the Ginger somersault. And that was a high Arabian double dismount. She had plenty of time to see the floor, and it didn't hit her, but she hit it with absolute control. And the buzz these gymnasts get from a good performance, whether or not it's a medal-winning performance, is irrelevant.
Just to emphasize the point, she is in for a medal and bronze medal position at the minute. If this is solid enough in the judges' view, and that's an amazing upside down transition, then of course it all depends what the other two girls above her do in this final rotation. Don't forget.
And that was a very high Ginger somersault.
Korkina and Zigan Shiva and Raducan, the girls around her who could undo her chances.
8.95. Really got to draw blood to get into the nines.
Tough marking.
She did have a few areas where she hit the shape rather by luck than judgment. You know, her 1.5 turn into the undershoot was a little bit off centre, and when she hit the undershoot, she could have so easily gone wrong. And now, elegance personified, Svetlana Korkina, the leader on floor. That was a big skill for her power. Full twisting double.
She got 9.4 in the qualifications on the floor, so one of the outstanding gymnasts of this discipline.
But we've seen already the Brazilian score a massive 9.562. That's the highest score of the meet on the floor. Triple twist. She always has an insecure landing on that, but it was the best of what she's produced to date. Her height provides such a lovely elegance. Bit off centre on that jump. But she's got such spindly foal-like legs, you never would believe that she can launch herself so high into tumbles. But this double pike, huge leverage. Lovely double twist to front drop. Great stuff, absolutely. You know, she's been in the game for a long, long time, and to have the motivation to continue and fight against these 15 and 16-year-olds at 22, to be so dedicated over such a long period of time. You know, she certainly deserves everything she gets. You get out of life what you put in, and she puts in an awful lot.
The top qualifier led all the way through this competition here in the final, and has she done enough here on the floor to get a gold medal? Svetlana Korkina of Russia, senior member of the squad by some way at 22, and it looks like she may be on her way to gold.
And making history, the oldest ever female world champion. That would be quite something, and really great for gymnastics, because we've seen so many people drop out of the sport because they believe they've passed their sell-by date by the time they're 18 or 19. And Korkina proves that you don't have to be small and you don't have to be young. But here's somebody, Danielle Hippolotto, and she is a major, major competitor.
Incredible.
She's the girl who scored in excess of 9.5 on floor, and if she's got the leg power to do well on floor, I bet her beam will be solid too. Change leg side into half twisting Trishanova. And she's so cool. Moving with great fluency. Not beam hunting. Beam hunting is an expression for somebody whose chin is always down and they're always searching to make sure the beam is underneath them. But somebody who has the head in line with their back during the exercise shows great confidence. change legs, split. Oh, into jeté turn. That is a botley jump. It looks simple, but that is as difficult as some of the major tumbles. They're the compulsory balance. Boy, oh boy. Round off flick, double tuck. She's cool and very, very bold on the beam. Extremely bold. And pretty happy too.
Just one obvious little mistake in all that, and overall we've found how difficult it is for these people to get over 9s, but she's guaranteed a 9+, I would think, on the beam. And in case you missed the caption there of Corkina's score on the floor, 9.475. And she's pretty much home and ho. Somebody's going to do something outstanding to take the gold medal away from her after that floor exercise from the Russian. But there we are here on the balance beam, 9.375 for the Brazilian, and she's done very well indeed in this tournament. But we don't know quite what she's going to finish at. We'll find out in just a moment. Ghent in Belgium, and here the great star of the Romanian team, the girl who led their challenge at the Olympic Games, and such a tragic Olympics for her in the sense that she was stripped of her gold medal in this all-around event at the Olympics because of an unfortunate episode with a cold remedy that had a banned substance in it. She only took a couple of pills by all accounts, but rules is rules. She was stripped of her gold and her doctor was banned for 4 years.
Yes, very sad story. She's fighting for her life to stay in the medals because she's under real threat of being ousted out by Daniela Hippolyto from Brazil. The Brazilian has finished and her score stands at 36.905. So Raducanu has got to get nearly 9.3 to make sure that she stays in the bronze medal position. Oh my goodness me.
What a shame. What a shame. It was fabulous to watch until the last little sip.
Absolutely. I mean, I think bronze if she's lucky. If she's lucky. But she's to me a beautiful floor worker. Her posture's great, she's elegant, she's powerful. I think all round she's one of the most pleasing to watch. But there's one person who won't be very pleased, and that will be Andrea Raducanu herself. And Maria Bitash rather straight-faced there. Needless to say, it could be a chance of a medal down the drain on that error. 2.5 twists, you see. Oh, I think this might be it, unless it's the last one. Yeah, this is it. 2.5 twists straight front. She was under-rotated, slipped, and stepped straight out of the area, reminiscent of Karpenko in the Olympics, where she really had a chance of the Olympic gold medal, and she did just the same.
Well, Raducanu will have another chance in the apparatus final. She's in 3 of them on the floor, and also up there on the vault. The only one she's not competing in fact, is the uneven bars. So a possibility of 3 golds for her still to come, but not in this all-around final. Corkina still in pole position there, the Russian girl, her great competitor. And there you have it, 9.262, but that is good enough to keep her ahead of Hippolyto of Brazil. So the young Brazilian looks like she might miss out on the medals. But what about Schweikert here?
A good vault, but not difficult enough to go into the big scores.
Again, needs probably something like a 9.4 or thereabouts to get ahead of Raducanu, I would think.
Yes, this is only going to put her in the early 9s, not the mid 9s. But brilliant challenge. Absolutely brilliant challenge from her.
There we are, that first vault, 9.125, needs more than that. That's bye-bye to the bronze. Presumably she will go for broke now.
Well, I think she's only, watching her throughout the event, I think she's only capable of putting a half twist on, and that means she's only going to lift her start value by a tenth to 9.6. I would suspect this will have a half twist on the end. Yes, Cuervo, actually.
You can only do your best.
Absolutely, you can only produce what's in your bag.
Nobody can ask for more than that. And so long as you satisfy yourself that you perform well, then I guess Tasha Schweikert will go home pleased enough, even if she doesn't get a medal here.
She'll be very, very happy with her ranking. And it's all about consistency, and all of the gymnasts who arrive in the top 3 generally do so because they've gone clean. Now we can see that Raducanu looks as though she is safe in the medal position. We've got Zigan to cater for yet, but Raducanu has made mistakes.
And the score, 9.231. No, not enough to shake things up. Raducanu will stay above her, and Hippolito too. So Schweikert just outside the medals. And here is a girl, Zigan, who just could sneak the gold. To be something extraordinary once again, and she's on the uneven bars. It's been pretty tough to score on any of these pieces of apparatus, and the uneven bars no exception.
I personally don't think she's got a chance of getting into gold, because I think she'd have to get something like 9.5, 9.6 on A bars. And although she was Russian champion on that piece, we read in her biography the reason she was that Korkina fell off. So don't think she's ever yet beaten her, but she's a great bar worker. No two ways about that.
She's not in the final on this apparatus this weekend, and neither is she in the final of any other piece of apparatus.
But she did mess up in the qualifiers, because I think this bar work is good enough to put her in the finals, but I remember her messing up in the qualifying round. Stealing Korkina's move. But she's an excellently strong bar worker. You can see how narrow her arms are and how straight her arms are. She's got such brilliant technique that she can build upon, and that's where she went wrong in the qualifying round, as well as in the middle of the routine. But that was a great routine, and I'm sure that will put her in the medals, and it could possibly put her above Raducanu. We'll just have to wait for the score. And Viktor Gavrichenko, her personal coach, he's nurtured her from being a tiny girl. So see, that was a bit of a crisis point there. She only just managed from the hop to make that Healy. But brilliant tension in support phase in the turns. There, the Ginger.
I tell you what, she doesn't beat Korkina, and I don't think we reckon she's going to after this. She's not going to be that disappointed. She's just 15, this girl. It's extraordinary.
I think she's got a tremendous future. Absolutely tremendous.
Won the national championships in Russia this year, and the Russian champion, as we were saying, on the uneven bars, but a bit of a story behind that. So there we are. That's the score that she gets, her final one, and let's see what it all makes. It's not enough to take it from Korkina. She is the champion, the all-around champion, the world champion here, and the young pretender has to make do with the silver medal this time, but she'll be back. And that means that Raducanu will take the bronze. There we are. There's confirmation for you. The Brazilian, brilliant performance by her in 4th place, and Tasha Schweikert, not the greatest vaulter, down into 5th position. But Svetlana Korkina does it again.
And that look of bliss on her face, it was poetic. But she was just rooting for Natalia, and of course she herself had taken the title, but the team spirit of Korkina, just so brilliant.
And congratulations to Holly Murdoch of Great Britain, coming up in 14th place. A very good performance by her.
Absolutely. Brilliant performance for the Brits, and the Dutch girls have done well too, and well done Sarah Moreau from Spain for coming in 8th position.
So there we are, the new champion of the world in the all-round, Svetlana Korkina of Russia. Well, she's put in so much work and